Hey everybody, it's Matt Wood again, Chief Headache Reducer and founder of Suiting Green Consulting. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come join me here on my channel. Today, I want to talk about the value of employee resource groups, how they can benefit your company, particularly when it comes to the veteran and military spouse community, or as I prefer, the former military professionals and the military spouse community. Now having these individuals and having a veteran or military employee resource group can take your company from actually being just military friendly to being military ready. So sit back, grab a cup of your favorite beverage, and let's hang on for the ride. If you haven't met me before, my name again is Matt Wood. I am the founder and chief headache reducer of Suiting Green Consulting. To give you some of my background, I served in the United States Army on active duty for over 21 years before moving on to roles with a Fortune 100 company and eventually starting my own company just within the last year and a half. I also had the distinct privilege of being married to a United States Marine, and I know all the Marines out there are going to kill me for it, but she's not active anymore, so she's a former Marine. Anyway, I've seen the challenges that both the veteran and military spouse community face when looking for opportunities outside of the military bubble. Employee resource groups, by design, are established by companies to support underrepresented populations within the company. They've become more commonplace in the last few years as mindsets shift toward making organizations more inclusive and providing employees with a community of support. Now, these groups are typically led by employees who have a common identity and have a goal of helping their members not only grow professionally, but personally as well. They work to support each other, raise common concerns or issues to company leaders, and help foster a positive work environment, not a private work environment. We want something that's positive out there. So for companies wishing to hire from the military community, having an active, supportive military or veteran employee resource group can help attract the top talent that will benefit the company and the individuals they want to hire. Currently, less than 0.5% of the United States population has ever served in the military. Think about that. That's a very small portion. Okay? Those that have served, when they leave the service, can have varying degrees of difficulty making the transition back into civilian life. And they typically do not self-identify as veterans upon exiting the service because of the stigma that veterans are in some way broken and not safe. So every year we see over 200,000 service members leaving the military. And now that we are well into 2023, we're seeing the population that enlisted in the wake of the September 11th terror attacks reaching their 20-year retirement points. This generation of service members and military spouses have shouldered more than their share of the burden of forcing American foreign policy abroad. After deploying and serving in various countries and combat zones around the world for the better part of 20 years, the workforce is going to have to come to grips with transitioning service members who may have a variety of seen and unseen wounds entering their ranks. I say all that not to deter you from wanting to hire from the military community, but to give you an idea of what to expect as these individuals move out of the military and into their next life, the next chapter of their life in the civilian sector. By having a solid veteran employee resource group, or ERG, these transitioning service members can find a sense of camaraderie in corporate America that they may feel like they lost when they left the military. If these ERGs communicate with their human resources business partners, they can help connect with and support those veterans or military spouses who may be joining the company. Leaders within the ERG can help sponsor, mentor, and if need be, advocate for new former military professionals or military spouse hires. This provides the company with the ability to streamline your onboarding, since the new hire will be paired with someone who has a common background they can relate to, knows the organization, and can help identify the left and right limits that this new hire may not know initially. In the military, as people move around from place to place, sometimes within the continental United States and other times going to foreign countries, they're typically assigned a sponsor to help guide them through the ins and outs of the new location upon their arrival. This helps make the newcomer feel welcome comfortable, especially if they're moving to a location outside of the U.S. for the first time, and help set them up for success. A good employee resource group can do just that for a company as well. If the ERGs are partnered well with their HR business partners, they should know when new hires are coming in and be able to find people that can reach out to the new hire prior to their arrival to provide a warm introduction and reception. Even if the new hire decides not to be a part of the ERG down the road, at least they've been given a welcome and they're made to feel like they are part of the team before they even set foot through the door. This can be even better if the new hire is coming to an area where a member of the ERG works, because now the new hire can relate to someone right away instead of trying to figure out who everyone is over the course of all their onboarding and initial training. If you've never onboarded into a company where you knew nobody, you are fortunate. But 9 times out of 10, you show up at a new company, you don't know anybody. You may know 1 or 2 people, and if you're lucky, they work in the same area or in the same building or same office space as you. But a lot of times you're coming into a company, don't know anybody, don't know where anything is, and anybody that you may know doesn't even work close to you. So having this connection, this introduction into the organization through your ERG is going to benefit your company and the people that you're bringing in. Now, in larger companies, it's entirely possible for recruiters and or HR professionals to highlight the resumes of those individuals they've hired who may have military experience listed on their resume. Doing so can provide the veteran ERGs with the opportunity to know who new veteran or military spouse hires are so that they can begin the introductions and sponsorship opportunities. This all has the effect of increasing employee engagement, which over time results in increased employee retention and can help the company hire more for talent than hiring to simply fill seats. Employee resource groups can also help build a culture of appreciation within the organization. The Walt Disney Company, for example, allows their veteran employees to wear the location of a previous military assignment on their name tags instead of a hometown or other city. I used to work for the Walt Disney Company, and when I did, I had a couple of different name tags I would rotate through. One had my hometown of Laconia, New Hampshire, where I was born and raised, or well, grew up at least. One had Fort Campbell, Kentucky, the home of the 101st Airborne Division, the last unit I deployed with, and one had Helsinki, Finland, since it was the assignment where my 2 youngest children were born. Without the work of the Disney Veteran Employee Resource Group, I would have had just the one listing, Laconia, since it was my hometown, and that's how the company operates. Another example is the Kroger Company, who provides veteran employees with a PIN that identifies their veteran status, which they can affix to their name tags or their lanyards, and allows customers and other employees to see, hey, this is somebody that served in the military. This kind of work by the ERGs helps make the veteran employee population feel like the companies recognize their military service and shows appreciation for what they may have done in uniform. And the individuals wearing the special name tags or pins do so because they're proud of their service. Having a member of the veteran ERG tied into the recruiting or HR team can also help when it comes to making sense of veteran or military spouse resumes. These individuals or the group itself can help identify what aspects of military experiences and training will be beneficial to the company. Their input, as mentioned before, can help the company really hire for talent and then train to skill, especially if there's a desire to hire more former military professionals or military spouses. In the case of veteran ERGs, they can help identify potential leadership candidates within the company by knowing the experiences and backgrounds of other veterans in their organization. They can also help serve as advocates for professional development opportunities to help grow internal candidates for various roles throughout the company. By upskilling these employees, you're not only putting more money back into your company, even though it may not seem like it, you're putting more money back in because now you're going to increase that engagement of your people that are working for you, and it's going to increase your retention rates, which saves you money over time. When it comes to cultural awareness, employee resource groups can encourage decision makers and other employees to learn more about the culture that their members come from. For example, helping coworkers realize that just because someone states that they are a veteran doesn't necessarily mean that they were in combat or that they may have PTSD. They can also help break down some of the stereotypes Hollywood has perpetuated about the military community. A veteran ERG can help non-military affiliated employees understand things like knowing the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day, and how some veterans or military spouses may feel on Memorial Day as opposed to Veterans Day. Employee resource groups are also great ways to help drive innovation within your organization. When employee members of an ERG feel empowered to share their ideas in the company because of the support of the ERG, and they can leverage their experiences and backgrounds, it has the ability to truly help propel the company forward. The acceptance of new and potentially radical ideas, and I'm not talking like radical, like Michelangelo type, but you know what I mean. This has the potential uh, to stimulate the kind of growth for the company that can prevent the company from becoming the next Blockbuster or BlackBerry. This isn't always possible if the company stifles their ERGs, doesn't have active ones, or doesn't have them at all. Now, we understand that not every company has the population to support having a full-time, active, really engaged ERG. But for larger companies that don't have them, why? Why not? A good ERG aims to provide personal and professional development opportunities for their members because of the success of their members and how that translates to success for the company. The veteran and military spouse community, by and large, is a community focused on helping others and is not afraid to share their knowledge if it can be of help to someone else. This is a community that knows how to train and develop others, so providing them with the opportunity to upskill, they will in turn share that knowledge with their peers and coworkers because they know that no one person is as strong as the whole team. Now, if you're asking how your company can get started with an employee resource group program, if you don't already have one, here are some tips to help you move in the right direction. First, having leadership buy-in is key. Like everything done within the company, if leadership doesn't see the value of it, your support is going to go right up it. So explaining the value of your ERG is important. Second, employees should be given the ability to create their ERGs on the clock. This is part of showing the buy-in from leadership. And if ERGs are allowed to host meetings during working hours, even better. These are groups for your employees. If you're not supporting them by giving them the time to do this during working hours, you might have to take a look at how you're prioritizing your human capital. Third, help your ERGs establish a budget and let them know what kind of financial support the company can provide to help them should they need it. Along with financial support, ERGs may need physical resources as well. Having space to hold meetings, bring in public speakers, or provide courses will go a long way to help your ERGs grow and flourish. For the employees creating the ERG, get the word out. Talk to your peers, talk to coworkers, talk to other departments or areas, and the company as a whole. Let them know what you're doing. This can bring in offers to help and support from places you may not have even known about. As I mentioned earlier, having executive buy-in will benefit your ERGs, but taking it a step further and possibly having an executive level sponsor for each ERG, depending on how many executives and ERGs you have, can help with initial leadership support and spreading the word about the group. Lastly, to borrow a phrase from my time in the military, it's all about speed and violence of action. And what I mean is that when ERGs are created, they need fast approval to get off the ground. Doing so helps get those new ideas launched quickly before they disappear. And the faster they get going, the faster your company will start to see the benefits of the ERGs and help your employees. So to bring this all back around, ERGs are a fantastic way to help boost your employee experience, increase employee satisfaction, and even drive innovation. When it comes to veteran employee resource groups especially, these can help smooth out the transition road, particularly when it comes to those new hires who are just coming from high operational tempo of the military and are stepping into that first civilian job in years, if it's ever been the first one they've had. And I'm not talking about, maybe working fast food before they join the military. So it can help them dim the light switch of military service and allow them to gradually ease into life after the military if they know they have people there who have their backs and understand where they're coming from. This isn't to say that every former military professional or military spouse coming into your company will have a difficult transition. But as we all know, change can be scary. And just knowing that you have a support system already in place when you get somewhere new can help ease that tension. If you have additional questions about how ERGs can benefit your company, the benefits of hiring from the military community, or whether hiring former military professionals or military spouses is the right choice for your organization, it is, let me know. Because I'd love to work with you more on how we can make that possible for you. Again, I appreciate your time. I love the fact that you came by, checked out my channel, and wanted to learn a little bit more. I hope you found this beneficial for you, or that I was at least able to provide some information you may not have had. I'm Matt Wood. I am the Chief Headache Reducer and founder of Suiting Green Consulting. We are here to assist your company go from being military friendly to military ready, because it truly is time to hire smarter.